WIOA. Yes, that's a lot. Learn more right after this.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome to Community Watch. Greg,
Doc,
how are you?
fine.
I'm glad. I'm glad you are fine. I'm glad you are fine.
Yeah, I have a job. I'm grateful for my job. I enjoy my job, and so.
But there are people that don't have jobs.
Exactly.
People that lose their jobs. So people have to switch their
careers
plans.
and all kind of things. People
Things
who have
happen.
barriers.
Things happen.
Yeah.
Things happen. And so we're kind of talking about that today. And I will be, well, I was going to say I'll be honest, like I'm not always honest, but I will be honest and say that until our guest started working this program, I didn't really know much about the program. It was just something that the college offered, Highlands offered to some students. I didn't know much about it at all. But now I know a great deal more.
And I knew a little. I knew a little because when I was at Highlands,
Yeah.
Florida College,
Yes.
one of the students in the Black Awareness Society, she was in the WIOA program.
So then I think it was just WIA. They added the O.
Oh,
We'll have to get that story later, but it was WIA initially.
And so,
Well, I have witnessed some pretty impressive things that happened as a result of this program, and so I'm anxious to learn more about it. We will be joined by our WIOA expert right after this. Do not go away.
My college offers classes that meet my educational and career goals.
With opportunities outside of the classroom,
where the faculty know me by name.
My college can prepare me for my career.
I can earn an associate's degree and transfer credits to a bachelor's.
My college is a state college within the university system of Georgia.
My college offers courses that fit my schedule.
It's where excellence begins.
we are.
We are.
We are.
We are GHC, Georgia Highlands College.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We're very happy to have with us today Mr. Evan Snelling, who is the WIOA Coordinator Assistant, although you've been sort of the coordinator, interim coordinator for a while now.
About 7 months.
So you are the WIOA guy.
I am.
Okay. So we got to know what it stands for.
WIOA stands for the Workforce, Innovative, and Opportunity Act.
All right, but the O is new.
The O is new. It's less than a year old. When I started this position, it was just WIA, which was the Workforce Investment Act.
So it's essentially the same program with a different name.
Yes, sir.
Or a similar name.
Yes, sir. Same exact program, different name, or different letters.
Okay, so then what is the O? I mean, so if it's the exact same program, and I know how government funding and all that, so what is the opportunity about? I mean, what changed it to?
I think the O for opportunity, we're trying to do more with apprenticeships, internships, trying to get students as well as just eligible adults or dislocated workers more opportunities. That's why we're partnering with different facilities such as Goodwill and other places.
But let's go back. The workforce initiative No, Workforce and Innovative Opportunity Act. What is that? We know the name now. What is it?
It's a federally funded program which strives to help eligible adults and dislocated workers for re-entry into the workforce through training and/or education.
So when you say dislocated, is that the word you use?
Yes, sir.
Dislocated. What does that mean?
We deem a dislocated an individual who's been laid off of a job due to no fault of their own.
Like a plant closing.
A plant closing, which normally I go out to the plants when they close. So a company downsizing, lack of work, that's what we would consider a dislocated worker.
All right, so in a case like that, and I know it for a while there was happening a lot, and hopefully not as often now, but when you go out to a plant that's closing or downsizing and they're dislocated workers, what is it you can offer them?
We offer two types of services. Me working for Georgia Highlands, I offer an opportunity to come to Georgia Highlands to further your education. We also have partnerships with different vendors in the area and across, actually WIOA covers the 15-county Northwest Georgia region. So everything from Bartow to Gilmer and Dade.
So really almost like Region 1, I think it is, something like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So they have the opportunity to go back to school.
Yes, sir.
And learn some new possible career.
Yes, if they've I like to advertise it as a career change. Mm-hmm. I know this happened, but if you've always thought about coming to school to become a dental hygienist or an RN or human services, it gives them an opportunity to do that. And accepted into the program, I will actually cover all of their fees, tuition, fees, and I'll also buy their books.
Well, I think you need to say that again.
Wait, hold on. Let's go back because
yeah, that went too fast.
I got student loans. Can I?
So you cover what?
We cover tuition, fees, as well as books. If a student were to receive financial aid, such as Pell, Hope, scholarships, that would also work, help covering their tuition. But anything that it didn't cover, we would cover that, and we cover all the fees as well as we buy their books.
So really you're talking, when you say opportunity, you're talking about for people that qualify.
For people that qualify, yes, sir.
We pretty much will pay for you to be retrained.
Exactly.
For a new career.
Yes, sir.
Wow. I was trying to think if there was, is there anything left that they need to pay for after all that's done?
Well, it really doesn't matter. If you, if it costs $10 and I pay $9,
yeah.
I mean.
Well, yeah. So that's spectacular.
Yes. Also, one of the luxuries of the program is we do what we call support, which means as an incentive to continue going to either school and or training, we pay you every day you go. So
you get paid to go to class.
You get paid to go to class, or you get paid to go to training.
All right, so let's just get real then. How do you qualify for this for a WIOA?
Well, we discussed the one way. If you're a dislocated worker, if you've been laid off or your company's closed, you would qualify for the program. Also, if you just live within the 15 counties, if you're a Floyd County resident and you meet what we call the low income guidelines, if you receive any type of public assistance, that could also further your chances of getting into the program. So there's not much special that you need. Just
is it a competitive program? I mean, I know y'all can't take everybody, so do y'all have a cap on the number of people y'all bring into the program at one time?
No, sir. Not at the moment. We have a target of students that we want to serve, but there's a lot of wiggle room in that, and we're always trying to serve more.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, because after this airs, I'm just thinking you're going to be bombarded with people who saying, look, I see this as the opportunity for me to take that step, that help I've been needing. Mm-hmm. Because if you're because, like you said, plants don't appear to be closing as much as they were years ago and downsizing. The economy is slowly picking up. But we still have a lot of people that meets that below the poverty level receiving public assistance in our community.
Yes, sir.
So we're talking about people who have an opportunity to really further not just their education, but change their family dynamics, really through a free program that pays them to go to school.
That's awesome that you mentioned that. That is correct. And I know I try to spend a lot of my time going to rec centers, churches. This is a program that needs to get out there more, because I agree. I think a program such as this, and all you have to do is qualify, and it can change your fortune. I mean, you're sitting on the couch one day. We have various vendors. If you're not scared to drive trucks, we have a truck driving school if you want to become CDL certified. We have a contract with a lineman school. And some of our programs aren't always in Floyd County, but if they're not, you can contact me, and we can also provide lodging if you have to go off to a training facility.
Man, I'm mad at you, Ev. I need a career. I mean, because it sounds so awesome that it's just like I'm like you now. I knew about WIA, but I didn't know the breadth of what they did and to the extent. Because really, you have no excuse. If someone is paying not only for all the fees and the cost of tuition, but then paying you really kind of eliminate all the barriers to why you can't go to school.
Correct, and we understand that school is challenging and a new career is challenging. But to piggyback off the support, what I was telling you, essentially what we do is we pay the students to go to school, to keep them motivated and to encourage them to graduate. That's the goal. That's what we're graded on. We're graded on completions, certifications gained, as well as degrees. We do two types of support. One is automatic, everyone can get it, and that's what we do mileage. And we'll MapQuest your house to whatever location you go to. The other one that we provide, which is essential, especially in these times, we help with childcare. So we have a certain per diem that a student or individual, I don't want to say student because you don't necessarily have to go to school, but you'll get that stipend as well as transportation every day just for going to class.
So let's say I'm a single female, I have a child, I don't want to go to college, but I'm not afraid to drive a 18-wheeler.
Correct.
And so I said, look, I meet these guidelines, I qualify for the program. So not only will you pay for me to become certified, to get my CDLs.
Correct.
Not only will you pay me to go to school.
Correct.
But you also pay for my child care while I attend school, or a portion of it.
Correct. You get a certain stipend that goes towards child care. So essentially at the end of 2 weeks, you'll get a check in the mail. I won't personally pay for your child care, but we do have a stipend that definitely helps individuals who have children.
And to qualify again, you have to be a dislocated worker or meet, I guess, a poverty guideline?
Yes, we call them eligible adults if you fall within the low income guidelines. Yes, and actually we're making a push to really encourage people to come out, even if you've may have had a troubled past. We strongly encouraging those individuals to come out, kind of a re-entry program.
I'm speechless.
Well, you timed your speechlessness pretty well because we're coming up on a break in a little bit here. When we come back, though, I'd like you to talk a little bit about some of the things that maybe more traditional college students get from this program if they qualify, because I know there are quite a few that are in the program that I guess would be called more traditional students.
Yes, sir.
We will be right back after this. Do not go away.
Packers. Vikings. Packers. Vikings. Vikings.
Red state.
Blue state.
Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities, our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Welcome back to Community Watch, and we are talking with Evan Snelling, who is the interim coordinator for WIOA at Georgia Highlands. Your office is at Georgia Highlands, but really, you're all over the place.
Yes, sir. WIOA spans to the 15 Northwest Georgia counties. So Georgia Highlands does have 5 locations. So I do cover our Floyd County, Bartow County, as well as Paulding County. So although my house office is in Rome, I'm known to travel.
Yeah, I can imagine. So I know a number of our students at Georgia Highlands are in WIOA or being helped by WIOA.
Yes, sir.
And some of the students are non-traditional, meaning they're a little older, but some are traditional students. So
correct.
What do the college students, how do they qualify to be part of this program?
If an individual wanted to go to college, they would qualify the same way. Either if they've been laid off through a job or just an eligible adult, low income. Now, if you do decide to go to college, that is a little different. So essentially for 2 years, it's a 2-year program, federally funded grant for 2 years. That's when I become more of like your cheerleader and or career coach. So what I do is I'll send time management, stress relief, all kind of tips to the individual throughout the semester to help them get through it. And I'll also have workshops throughout the semester to also help them and guide them. But one of the things that we do cover, if you do decide to come to school, that would be your tuition, your fees, and we pay for all your books.
So I'm assuming pretty much you have 2 paths. Either you can do the college route or a training program that I'm assuming at least some type of certification.
Correct.
And so it's not like you can just show up and say, I want to be a hand painter. I mean, it has to be a certified, approved training program.
Correct. Now the great thing about WIOA is if we don't have a contract with a hand painter, and you and 11 of your friends get together and would like to go into that avenue, what I can do is I can then reach out to our corporate office and they can see what they can get together.
Wow. I'm just looking at this and I'm just amazed at the level of support, because as we all 3 know so well that we have a large percentage of students who struggle due to support or lack of support.
Correct.
So here you have a program for some individuals that qualify for support and they may not even be aware of it. And I know there are plenty of young adults who qualify that I'm not going to say, at least look into this. I don't know if you're going to qualify, but this is another possible resource.
Exactly.
Because we have a lot of kids that graduate. They have their dreams and goals, but things change, and then you see them 2 or 3 years later. They may have a child working at a job that pays just barely minimum wage, and it's hard to come out of that situation. Correct. When you're and you have bills and you have responsibilities. Exactly. It's very difficult. So this is just a great resource now that we can say, hey, at least go speak to Mr. Snelling.
Now, I also know that near your office there is a kind of a workroom area. I don't know what you call that room, but a lot of resource room. There you go. A lot of the students that are in WIOA go there to study, to use computers.
Correct. To print.
And you have all manner of supplies that they might need for class.
Correct. If you are a student, what I try to do is I try to make sure I have Scantrons, blue books, pens, pencils, anything you need. I try to keep extra binders, loose leaf paper, anything. Like I've stated, once you're in the program, that's when I become your success coach. So anything, if you're having trouble with a teacher, I want you to come to me. Maybe I can help bridge the gap. Or once you join the program, I'm basically on your team.
I was going to say, you know, you're very soft-spoken and kind-seeming here, but I've heard you talk to a couple of the guys in that program who have missed a few classes. So you don't have to be nice all the time. I mean, you can be pretty firm.
Yes, sir. I can. And
you said success coach.
Success coach. And like I said earlier, we're graded on completion and graduation. So once you get into the program, I ultimately want you to succeed. And if that means I have to call you every day, send you an email, show up at your class, or show up at your training. I've done that, and typically what I do is if you use an outside vendor, such as the truck driving school we have, I'm notorious for showing up at the graduations. So we have all kind of trainings that span from the truck driving school we have is a 3-week course. I say it as a month because the 4th week you graduate. So we got 1 month trainings to 6 month trainings to 2-year programs if you decide to enroll in school.
And if you're in college and part of this program, you have to maintain a certain grade point average, don't you?
Correct. To be a Georgia Highland student, you do have to maintain a 2.5 GPA. Now, if you're in college and it falls below that, I won't necessarily kick you out of the program, but we will sit down and discuss a strategy to make sure that you, if you're struggling, it's because you're truly struggling and you're not.
Well, let's be honest. If you removed all those barriers,
there's no excuse.
There's no excuse. I mean, life. You have to live life. But if you removed a lot of that stress, then you would think, especially a more mature student, recognizing the great benefit and the great opportunity that they have by that time chosen to invest in themselves, and putting in the necessary work to maintain a 2.5. Because a 2.5 is definitely not a 4.0.
Right.
And so you would hope that you're doing that. But I guess, Evan, what do you feel like are some of the barriers that are, I guess, that more people are not taking advantage of this?
I think the number one barrier, you nailed it immediately, and that's marketing and or publicity. We've got to do a better job of advertising, a better job of truly getting it out there, what the program is, what it's about. And also, I take it as a personal challenge to get out there and go into neighborhoods, go to churches, go to different groups and truly share, go to lunch and learns, and share what the program is about and share how it can ultimately change your life. So I know one goal for me is to really reach people who think they may be hopeless and or down on their luck.
I'm thinking, going back to what you said about graduation and completion. So this really becomes one of those programs that some people, you gonna have some people all, woo woo woo, they just giving. So graduation and completion becomes almost a necessity in order to maintain the program, because you got to be able to get some kind of return on investment.
Exactly.
So for those people who you getting this free whatever, if you got a large number of people graduating and completing, they're now working in the workforce, paying taxes, or engaged citizens. So now you're getting a return on that investment. So graduation and completion becomes almost like you have to have that in order to sustain the program, because otherwise, if a large percentage are not graduating or completing, at some point somebody says, wait a minute, this is just not working. And so I guess, so when people come in, I guess y'all have, I don't want people to think they can just walk up and say, hey, I want to do this. It's serious. I mean, so people are putting in all this support and services, but it's very serious.
Yes, sir. And I think what you said sums up WIOA in a nutshell. The mission of the program is to reduce welfare dependency and enhance the productivity and the overall competitiveness of the workforce, the Georgia workforce.
Is it not also true that there are WIOA students at the high school level?
Correct.
And they can just continue, isn't that right?
It's not that crystal clear.
Oh, okay, all right.
But if they are in WIOA in high school, I strongly encourage them to come see me. I know Rome High School has a WIOA program.
They do?
They do. And me and the coordinator talk periodically. And I know ever since the end of the semester, he sent me about 4 kids.
So how do you qualify for WIOA in high school?
WIOA in high school is different. I'm not 100% sure how you would qualify. I know what they do is different. You don't pay for books in high school, so they focus more so on finding you employment while you're in school.
All right. We can talk offline because I didn't know who that coordinator is. But I got a lot of students.
Well, how many folks are in the program now that you're coordinating?
Right now we have 54 students that attend Georgia Highlands in the program. And I think we have about 30 more that are using our vendors.
But those trainings outside of the college don't last very long, so.
Nope. Which I think is a great opportunity if you just want a career change, and if you're passionate about, we have one where you can become a CNA or a patient care technician. We have another one, like I've mentioned, if you would like to drive trucks. We also have some with some colleges and universities. So 4-year and 2-year. So.
Well, we're coming up on another break. I think people are probably anxious now to get some contact information. So when we come back, I will give you that contact information. Do not go away.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We've been talking with Evan Snelling, who is the interim coordinator of the WIOA program at Georgia Highlands. If you want to talk to Evan to see if you might qualify or someone you love might qualify for WIOA, you can call his office at this number, 706-295-7804. 706-295-7804. Evan Snelling, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Doc. Thank you so much.
And thank you for being with us. We will see you next time on Community Watch.